Hey y'all, it's Marissa from Marissa Moments. So I just had a really intense vision. In it, the world was ending. Now let's not read too deeply into it because that can mean many different things. But to continue, the world was ending, and you and your partner didn't know. So when you loaded up the kids and went to just run regular errands, that's when you found out, because you noticed people were kind of moving a little bit differently. There was like this mist in the air that it just kind of looked like fog. And so this fog was rolling in, and there were police that were stationed in different areas that they typically wouldn't be in. So your partner went up to one officer and asked what was going on, and that's when they were informed. So then they slowly walk back to the car where you're at, waiting with your kids, and they tell you what's happening. And in your mind, you have so many different things going through your head, right? And so your first instinct is to say, okay, well, let's go gather some necessities and then get to a place that is safe and secure. And your partner says, no, I want to go to the movies. Let's go to the movies. And you're just so confused, but you figure I have to go along because there's no other option. So you go along, and then when you get there, your partner says, you know what, this is a mature movie. The kids have to wait in the car. So again, you're like, what the hell is going on? You're infuriated at this point. How can you leave the kids in the car? Why do you want to go to a movie? This doesn't make any sense to me. And so they go in, you follow them because they took the keys and you want to get out of there. But then on your way to follow them, you get stuck on this high rise that leaves you with entrapped animals. And these animals start to turn to you, and they're like trying to get at you, which is not really a surprise because you're used to drawing in animals' attention. They always come to you. However, it is a little scary because you're unfamiliar with these animals, and not to mention you're stuck. So you call on your partner, who basically ignores you, and the workers are the ones that have to come help you. Then once you're finally down, you return to the vehicle with your children, and in the back of your mind, you just think to yourself, well, this is the only place I'd rather be in the world. Now, this is where I will continue to a healing translation, but I see that I'm running out of time, so there's going to be a part 2. If you can do your own translation, great. If not, go on ahead to part 2. Hey y'all, it's Marissa from Marissa Moments. So this is part 2 of the previous video. If you haven't watched it, feel free to go watch it, or not, whatever. But this is the translation part. So what Spirit gives me is that there's a couple of different things. So we are quick and prone to judge the partner based off of their actions. However, we have to make note that we never were fully informed of what information they were given when they went to talk to the police officer. So there's that. Also, we essentially are being reminded to claim our power when we are put into positions that we feel powerless, is when we are given the best option and opportunity to reclaim our power. So this doesn't stand to mean that we're never put into positions in which we are unable to get ourselves out of in the moment. However, it does state that when the opportunity arises, that is when we need to grab our power back with both hands and run for the hills. And that we have to understand that the decisions that we make are our own. So in blaming others for the decisions that we choose, we are again giving away our power. Whether those decisions be good, bad, or indifferent, that's a place or space of judgment, self-judgment. There is no good, bad, or indifferent. There just is. So learn from it and move on. Learn from it and grow and keep moving ahead. Now, the biggest part of the vision, where it was the end, was actually what I feel to be the beginning. It was offering opportunity to allow people to let their true selves be shown. Were people acting up in the streets? Of course. Were there people that were getting together with loved ones and saying prayers or doing rituals? Yes. Were people vowing to give their life for a higher cause because of the circumstances? Yes. You will see all different multifacets and areas along the gambit in those circumstances. And that is simply a reminder that instead of waiting for the end, treat every day as such. And then, and only then, will it actually function as our beginning.